Hi guys, I'm going to show you guys another way to color your coffee filter. Okay, so this is with markers, with washable markers. I'll show you. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is just spread it out. You get washable markers. This is what I have at school. Not very many and they're not very great, but here we go. Okay, so we're going to use this red, and I'm going to color as much of the paper as I possibly can. You're just scribbling. It'll spread out later, but you just want to get the color everywhere. So it doesn't matter if it looks okay right now. It's mostly just you want color. And you want to have enough color so that when you wet it, it spreads easy. So I want to try to cover, just like we've done before with other projects, I want you to cover up the white. Try to not let the white show through. Okay, so anywhere that there's white, just color it all up. See how it doesn't look pretty? That looks like it has scribbles on it, but when we put the water on it and we smooth it around, then that should go away. Okay, so here's red. If you want to, you don't have to, you can do just one color. You can add another color to it, but remember the colors that mix. Red and red and orange are next to each other on the color wheel, so they're okay. If you add green to red, that will make brown. Those do not work together. If they're across from each other on the color wheel, look at last week's lesson, I have a color wheel on there. But if they're across from each other, they won't work together. You have to do something that's next to each other on the color wheel. Oh, let me see. So I'm just going to put a little bit of orange everywhere too. Not as much as the red. This will make it like a little bit more red-orange flower. See how I'm holding it too with my fingers like this so that it doesn't rip? I'm holding it separated so that this can go smoothly on it, so it doesn't wrinkle while I'm working. Okay, so on this one, you want to try to have it all the way covered before you even put the water on. Okay, so I've gotten rid of my white spots mostly. Oh, I got one right there that I'll cover up. And right there. Alright, cover up your white spots. And then you're just going to spray it, and you're going to use your finger to wipe it around. Okay, so I'm going to spray it so it's pretty wet, and I'm just going to use my finger to wipe this around. You could try a paintbrush if you want to. You guys know I like to just use my hands, so I'm going to use my hands. If it's not spreading around very much, see how some parts look like it's spreading around really well, and some parts look like it still looks like marker. Just use more water. The more water you use, the more it will like to spread. Now mine's really wet, and that's okay, because it's going to spread easier. There we go. Now it's spreading like paint. Okay, now it's totally spreading. It's a red-orange. Now this is the part that's hard. It's just very carefully peeling it away from your paper. Okay, do you see that? I don't know how well you guys can tell what color it is, but it's an orangey color. What I'm going to do, since look how wet this paper is and look how wet the table is, I'm going to use a rag. I'm going to wipe it up, and then I'm actually going to let this dry on top of the rag. Because one thing I noticed when I did the paint ones is that they actually kind of stuck to this surface. Now if your surface is non-porous, you can ask your parents if it's non-porous, meaning that it doesn't really have any pores in it, so you can't really, the water can't get in and all that. The more condensed and non-porous it is, the more likely it'll stick to it because it doesn't have any air coming in from underneath. So just keep that in mind. And you will end up with fingers like this, but I hope that's okay. Just go wash them off. This is washable marker. It might turn your fingers a color for a little while, but you'll be just fine. So there's another option.